But we begin today's starting lineup with the Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins, who became the first team to win back-to-back cups in the salary cap era. Is that a legitimate thing? Yes, it is, because it's hard to do. And it came in part because of Sidney Crosby, who became just the third player ever to win back-to-back Conn Smythe trophies, bookending an incredible 12-month span for the Penguins captain as he adds even more hardware to an already stacked resume. You want to see the resume, Sixero? The roll call is getting undeniable. Crosby, a two-time Hart Trophy winner as the league's most valuable player, two-time Art Ross Trophy winner. He won the Rocket Richard twice. How about Ted Lindsay from the Players? 3 times, back-to-back Conn Smythes, 2 Olympic golds, a Golden Goal, a World Cup of Hockey, and the MVP, plus 3 Stanley Cups. And no, we did not rip this off Hockey Night in Canada.
We made that this morning.
Wait a second. We completely and utterly did rip it off Hockey Night in Canada, but the roll call was so impressive, we needed them to see it.
See, and I voted for adding his ESSO participation medals from back in the day.
From back in the day, most sportsmanlike.
Editor didn't have the time. No. Poor guy, working him to the bone.
The roll call ignited a conversation, and it was basically Canada-wide today. Where does Sidney Crosby rank among the NHL's all-time greats? Sid Sixero, would you like to answer this question?
This is my answer.
Oh, he's
5th.
I thought you were raising your hand as if you were sure.
Sorry.
I was going to say maybe you shouldn't.
I was in front of a Senate Intelligence Committee. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. No, this is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. This is where Sidney Crosby. This is like the old Bundy 5, the old school wrestling.
Okay,
reference.
so the top 4 are obvious for most people. 5. Top 4 are quite obvious for most people. It goes Gretzky or Howe and Mario Lemieux. Does anyone disagree in this room? Gretzky.
Is anyone in the room?
Howe or Mario Lemieux in any way, shape, or form? Nobody disagrees.
The Mount Rushmore of hockey. Any disagreement? Any? No. Speak now or forever hold your hockey.
All right. So we've got a consensus top 4 among most hockey fans and the hockey fans within this conclave right now. Once we step out 4, I want to make sure that when you throw this up, because I heard a lot of people saying he's number 5, who you would be displacing as number 5. The Hockey News has done a rather famous list, and in that list, it was Maurice Richard who took number 5. Is Sidney Crosby in this room, Sid's going to answer in a second, better than Maurice Richard?
A yay or nay answer would suffice.
Yays?
Yay. And there's Habs fans in this room, and there was hesitation. I just want that on the record.
There's a lot of hesitation.
There was hesitation on that.
You tell me, Sid Sixero, since your name's on the show, and there's Maurice Richard's resume.
And when
the 1 Hart Trophy, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But the 8 cups.
That's pretty amazing.
In a 6-team league.
And the one day he wanted off because he was moving.
Yeah.
They called him and said, listen, he's moving his couch and hurts his shoulders. Like, Maurice, we need you to come over here. Yeah. And he's like, listen, leave me alone. And he scored a whack of goals.
God bless those heritage moments.
Heritage moment.
Where would we be without heritage moments?
Heritage moment. We need a heritage moment. Or we need to start producing mock heritage moments.
Yeah, okay.
We should start doing that.
So back up your 5. Because the other, and if you want me to throw some other names out there, Doug Harvey, Dominic Hasek, I think goalies, we all as hockey fans can just say that's apples to oranges.
Yeah,
Let's do apples to apples. Doug Harvey, a defenseman, but Bobby Orr is in that top mix. Jean Beliveau, Bobby Hull, those are the others in that mix. I would throw Mark Messier in and around that spot, but others wouldn't.
To me, Sidney Crosby is the 5th best hockey player in the history of the game. Number 6 on that list, and I don't say this lightly, because we just showed the resume of the Rocket.
Okay.
He had eyes of steel. He represented a generation of Hab fans that forever hold him in high esteem.
His cultural place,
it's unbelievable,
within the province of Quebec and beyond is significant to say the least.
Oh my God. Today plus significance.
What?
No?
Yep.
Here's the point.
Seb, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, Seb. I'm trying. I got a 50 in grade 10 French. Will you back off once? I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be Canadien. So just let me have my moments here. Mark Messier is the 6th best hockey player of all time. And I don't say that lightly because you talk about respect. Let's talk about respect. Let's talk about 6 cups. Let's talk about one of the greatest leaders in professional sports history, not just NHL history. Let's talk a 2-time Hart winner. Let's talk everything you see there because you have eyes and you can read. Like, that's Mark Messier.
The one thing I will say about Mark Messier in that original Hockey News, you know where he was ranked?
No.
11th. And Mark Messier is a two-time Hart Trophy winner. Now,
Come on, man.
Doug Harvey, people forget because it just didn't play in most of the people watching this era. He had 7 Norris Trophy wins, and until Nick Lidstrom came around, 7 was unheard of alongside Bobby Orr, right?
Correct.
Bobby Orr, Doug Harvey, everybody else. But I think that when you weigh what Mark Messier meant to the teams that he won with, it's similar to, dare I say, Evgeny Malkin, is it not?
Yeah, the seemingly, and I say this with the greatest amount of respect, the seemingly second fiddle to Wayne.
Right.
Because everyone was second fiddle to Wayne, and there's no crime in that. But a guy who Wayne couldn't
The
win with.
greatest of all time.
But Wayne, I don't know if Wayne could have won without Moose. I don't know if Wayne could have got there without Mark Messier. I mean, it was a partnership. It was a true partnership.
Right.
And that's where the Malkin kind of comes in too. I think you can correlate the two.
Now, Messier went out on his own and captured a few more cups after that, including in the city that Wayne Gretzky left, and then going out on his own again in New York, winning another cup. I think there's a lot to the resume that you're throwing out there with Messier. So Sidney Crosby, we'll throw it out there to the Timmins citizens and those that are just watching by accident. Is Sidney Crosby the 5th best player of all time? Yay or nay? Why don't we Twitter poll this, guys? Just a yes or a no. Is he the 5th best player of all time?
No, maybe?
So amazing. And let me just rack this back for a second, because when we looked at halfway through last season and Sidney Crosby was struggling mightily.
Yep.
Before they put Mike Sullivan in charge, and by the way, Mike Sullivan deserves some credit. We'll get to Evgeny Malkin, we'll get to Matt Murray. But it was amazing to see where Sidney Crosby came from, wondering many if his best years were behind him, to absolutely putting his team on his back and coming up with one of the greatest 12-month spans that we have ever seen in the game of hockey. We looked at the numbers, and he's right there with anybody. Never mind the fact that it's so rare for someone to win the Rocket Richard, the goal-scoring title, and then win the Conn Smythe and a Stanley Cup.
You just don't see it.
You just don't see it.
You don't see it.
And Sidney Crosby did everything. And I was right there watching those numbers and going, man, did David Steckel take years off of what was the best player on planet Earth?
Yeah, potentially.
And once again, you can't deny it. He is the best player on planet Earth, with all due respect to Connor McDavid.
You can't deny a guy who just wins now all the time. Whenever Sidney
But not
Crosby
just wins
steps,
now.
but that's a huge part of this, right? The reason why we are even contemplating the argument that Crosby's ahead of the Rocket, that Crosby's ahead of Moose, and some people are going a step further than that. I'm not going to. Some people are going a step further, is the constant winning of things, right? Like, there are some great hockey players. Marcel Dion got a lot of points in his life.
Yeah.
Where's Marcel in this conversation? He's not really here right now. He's top 10 player all time,
Right.
potentially. But he's not in this conversation. Why? It's the wins plus everything else. It's the wins plus the intangibles. And that matters.
Can I add one more thing?
Shoot.
It's not just the winning. It's the coming up huge
Huge.
in winning moments.
Big moments.
Like, how many times do we have to look at Sidney Crosby and say, oh, well, he's only got this many points in this Olympics, or he's only got this many goals in his last Stanley Cup final blank games, and then he scores the golden goal. He's the one that ignites his team in a Game 5, tied at 2. It's the big goals that he scores. It's the big points. It's the, hey, get on my back, I'm drawing a penalty on my first shift. And then Malkin, then Kessel join the party, and everyone goes, hey, we knew Pittsburgh had all the talent all along. Well, they were vastly outplayed in the first 2 games of this series.
But those Olympic moments, right?
Yep.
Like, and for those who don't remember, here they are. Oh, wait, they won't let us play them. Thanks, IOC. You're the best.
Some people don't know that we're not allowed to play them.
Now they know. Time to give the people some truth juice.
Yeah.
The IOC are just not good people, and I understand the
We
league
have to
not
pay
going.
ridiculous amounts of money to play those events, so we never play them again.